Welcome to another episode from the Ed of Ed. I'm doing the finishing touches on my 1937-38 Montgomery Wards farm radio, and I like looking at other YouTube videos of other guys working on their radios and so forth, and a theme that occasionally seems to come up every once in a while is the damaging of a speaker cone when they're working on it. And some folks have thought ahead of time to cut a piece of cardboard and tie wrap that in place, but seems to be the common complaint. I certainly had it with this one instance of using a yogurt lid as my protective cover, is that you got this cover on here and it kind of dampens and mushes out the sound while you're working on it. And obviously one of the simpler solutions would be just to punch a bunch of holes in this plastic yogurt container or the cardboard disc that folks might do. But another idea was simply, why not 3D print a nice little guard and it'll act as a temporary speaker guard. So the idea here is you just tie wrap this in place, and unless you got a screwdriver or something like that, it should be just as protected as, say, a normal guard would be, that would be part of the speaker enclosure itself. This particular speaker that it's designed for is a 5-inch speaker. The bolt holes are at 4 3/4, and what I got, eight holes there. So it's a simple matter of just tie wrapping this guy in place. Now obviously you could use wire ties or maybe screws if you want to. That way you don't have to even waste the tie wraps. And you probably need as few as 3 really. I think I might put 4 in here. And this file will be on Thingiverse, so we'll look that up. And just looking at a lot of these tabletop radios, they seem to have speakers that are about this size. I'm hoping that it's the bolt hole pattern, the diameter is sufficiently generic that it won't be just somebody that has this Montgomery Wards farm radio will be able to benefit from this. And tie wrap it in there, get it in there snug up so it doesn't vibrate and so forth. Snip off those tie wraps and you're good to go. And so there you go. Nice protective cover. The other thought is, on the back side of a lot of these speakers, you'll have a fairly large open space that you could still put your finger in. And so, it was a great deal of elaborate effort. I've come up with a little cover plate that's meant to clip in there. The part itself is 3D printed with a brim. So if you do have access to a printer, you'd want to set it to the brim feature and trim off the excess brim material, which just pops right off. It helps. Basically, the idea of a brim is it helps adhere this part to the bed, and there's so little contact area for the bed. And then there's a couple little additional little tabs that I designed into it that are meant to come off, that will act as support features. And then once those are off, then you're good to clip this guy in. So once you have the plastic all peeled off, you'll have some nice little features that kind of clip into the sheet metal on the ends. The idea is that the whole thing just flexes and you get it into your lip around the circumference. Get the bottom one popped in there, give it a little bit of a bow and pop it into the top. So if you happen to have a speaker this sort of style, which is kind of the uncertainty, how many radios really are out there that with like a permanent magnet speaker, but if you happen to have a speaker kind of like that with a part number 114-104, maybe that little cover will be of help to you. And then of course it just clips right back out again. So anyhow, that's the speaker guard cover for at least for sure a Montgomery Wards later 30s radio with a 5-inch speaker. I guess there's a lot of these tabletop models probably have a 5-inch speaker, so hopefully the bolt pattern and the diameter is sufficiently generic for other radios. So anyways, that's it. Look it up on Thingiverse, and thanks for watching.